Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Rachel. In today's video, I'm going to be selecting my November TBR with my handy dandy TBR jar. I cannot believe that it is November, you guys. Like, how did we get here? That is so crazy. November to me is like, it's not the last month of the year, obviously, but starting in December, I'm gonna start thinking about, okay, what is my best book of the year? What are my top 10 favorites? What were my worst books of the year? What books am I looking forward to next year? I feel like in December, there's just so much end of year planning that I do that November feels like the last month where I am just kind of freely reading and searching for my next best book of the year. And of course, I could totally read my best book of the year on like December 5th, who knows? But November truly feels like the final stop, the final full month before we barrel into the end of year content. So it's kind of an exciting month. Also very exciting because two of my most anticipated releases of 2025 come out in November. Number one is Brimstone by Callie Hart. That is my number one most anticipated release of the entire year. I cannot wait until Brimstone comes out, you guys. Oh my god. And then also Dawn of Chaos and Fury by Melissa K. Rorick. That comes out at the end of November. That is the fourth book and the finale in the Legacy series, which is my absolute favorite dark fantasy romance series. I'm so sad to see it ending, but I'm also just so excited to get my hands on it. So we have a big month of reading ahead of us. I do have a couple of books for Patreon that I will be reading, so let's talk about those first, and then we will go into my TBR jar. I will pick out 6 TBR jar prompts, and then I will select books to match those prompts. So the first book that I will definitely be reading in November for my Patreon read-along of the Gods and Monsters series is Wrath of the Fallen by Amber V. Nicole. This is the fourth and latest book that just came out in this series. We have been reading the first 3 books over the last 3 months, and now we are here in November. We're going to be reading this fourth book, and I am so excited. This is a darker fantasy romance series. I believe there's going to be 7 books in the series, so we're only on book 4, which is crazy, but it is just chock full of really intricate plot lines, amazing characters, multi-POV, lots of different romances, really, really wonderful yearning. I absolutely love this series so far, and I'm so excited for Wrath of the Fallen. Now for my fantasy romance book club that I do with my patrons, we voted and we are going to be reading Quicksilver in November. Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This is, of course, the first book in this series, and this is going to be a reread for quite a few of us, myself included, but I'm really looking forward to that. I wanted to reread this book in November, so I'm so happy that so many of my patrons also wanted to do a reread. So we are going to be buddy reading this book throughout the month, and then I post a spoiler-filled reading vlog for them over on Patreon. I am so happy that I'm going to be reading this book. I can't wait to revisit it. I read this like over a year ago, so it's gonna be so nice to refresh myself before I go into Brimstone. All right, the first TBR prompt for the month of November is going to be an indie fanro released in the last 2 months. Okay, that we can definitely do. The first thing that stands out to me, I am reading The Ascended by Parker Lennox and Brie Greenwich. I'm 27% of the way through. I'm not gonna finish that before October is up. Should I just put that on my November TBR because I just started it? I guess I could do that, right? I'm not that far into it. It's like 700 pages, so 27% is like basically nothing. All right, so while I have started this, The Ascended is officially going on to my TBR. This came out in October, and like I said, I'm 27%, but like, look, that's basically nothing for this book. I am vlogging this. You guys will get a full vlog talking about my thoughts about The Ascended, and it just feels right to put it onto my TBR officially. So first TBR jar prompt pick is The Ascended. All right, TBR jar prompt pick number 2 is going to be read an urban fantasy. Okay, this is perfect. I recently put together my like 10 before the end, 10 books that I would like to read before the year is up, and there's an urban fantasy on that list that I've been needing to get to for a really long time, years at this point, so let me go grab that. City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. This is the 5th book in the Mortal Instruments series. I have been working on the Mortal Instruments series for like 3 years now. I only have 2 books left. I need to finish it up. So this is gonna be my second TBR jar prompt pick. I'm really excited to read this book. It's also the penultimate book in the series, which is always really exciting. I feel like the second to last book before a series ends is always really, really high stakes. Everything goes wrong. I'm sure it's gonna stress me out. It's gonna be wonderful. I'm very excited to get closer to finishing the Mortal Instruments with City of Lost Souls. So TBR jar prompt number 3 will be read a new release. Okay. I have 2 books that immediately came to mind. Number 1 was Alchemized by Sun Lin Yu. Number 2, should I just use this for Brimstone? I mean, I'm going to read both of them. I'm gonna go with Alchemized. This is gonna be my new release that I'm going to read. I mean, this came out like September, I don't know, 23rd or 30th or something like that. So it's not super new, but it is new enough. It's only like a month old, honestly, at this point. So yeah, we are going to officially be reading Alchemized in November. I was like hoping that I could read this in November. I definitely need to read this before the year is up. This is on my 10 before the end. And honestly, I can't believe I haven't been spoiled yet for Alchemized because I feel like I'm like the only person who has not read it yet. Let's put it on the TBR. We will be reading Alchemized in November. I am going to be vlogging this, so you guys will get all of my thoughts on Alchemized in November. Okay, TBR jar prompt pick number 4 is going to be read a fantasy romance by an author of color. Okay, one of my absolute biggest releases of the year that I have not got to yet is by the lovely Tahira Mafi. That is Every Spiral of Fate. Let me go grab that. This is book 4. I have been dying to get to this. Cannot believe I haven't picked it up yet. I'm absolutely obsessed with the This Woven Kingdom series. It's a YA fantasy series. It is inspired by the Persian Empire. It is just a lovely, rich, amazing, painful, gorgeous series. The romance is insane. There is a character in this book who I love so much. I mean, I really love all the characters, but there's one in particular that I think about so much. And oh my God, I think we're just gonna get so much more pain from him in this book. And I'm really excited for it. So Every Spiral of Fate going on the November TBR. Okay, we have 2 more prompts. Prompt number 5 is going to be read a book from your 2025 TBR. So the 2025 TBR, I have kind of abandoned her a little bit, I'll be honest with you, but there's a lot of really good books on that TBR. So I can definitely pull from that. I pulled it up here on my phone. We have The Name of the Wind, which I've been meaning to read. We have The Starless Sea. I've also been meaning to read that. I should probably pick one of those. Yeah, nothing else is really like standing out to me. So should I pick Name of the Wind or The Starless Sea? I want to read both. I wish this was live so you guys could just tell me which one to read. Okay, I've decided. The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I've wanted to read this forever. I even bought a second copy of this book when I was in Spain, and I haven't even read the copy that I have. The reason that I bought the second copy is because that edition is like a collector's edition. It's super beautiful and it's also extremely heavy. It's just a very pretty, beautiful edition that I love having on my shelves. This one I can manhandle, and manhandle it I will in November. We will be reading The Name of the Wind, finally. Oh my God, you guys, my TBR is so long. These books are huge. Oh, okay, let's see what our final TBR prompt is gonna be for the month of November. I'm really excited though. Almost every single book that I have on my TBR so far was on my 10 before the end. So thank you so much to the TBR gods. I'm really excited. All right, the final TBR prompt for the month of November is going to be, let's see, read a book with purple on the cover. Do you know what book has purple on the cover and is also on my 10 before the end? Dawn of Chaos and Fury by Melissa K. Rorick. That does come out very close to the end of the month, November 25th, I'm pretty sure. So I will hopefully get that done before the month is up, but it's, once again, no surprise here because apparently this is the theme of my November TBR. It's a very long book, but I could get like, I think a good chunk of the way through. Let's do it. Let's put it on the TBR. So Dawn of Chaos and Fury by Melissa K. Rorick, book 4 in the Legacy series. It's gonna ruin my life and I'm really excited about it. All right, that is my TBR. I am also going to be reading Brimstone this month. I wasn't able to fit it in with any of these prompts. It's there. She's there. She's an honorary TBR member. So let's go through my TBR one more time. Number 1, Quicksilver reread. So excited for this. Number 2 is going to be Wrath of the Fallen by Amber V. Nicole. This is book 4 in the Gods and Monsters series. I'm also going to be reading Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I will be continuing my read of The Ascended by Parker Lennox and Bree Greenwich. I will be reading Every Spiral of Fate by Tahira Mafi. I will also be reading City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. And then of course I will be reading Alchemized by Sen-Lin Yu and Brimstone by Callie Hart. She'll fit in there somewhere. All right, you guys, that is my November TBR. Oh my God. I am really ending this year off with a bang. Every single book here is like 500 plus pages. you know what, we're gonna do it. We are going to push ourselves in November. I'm genuinely so excited for every single book here. There is not a single book that I'm like, okay, I guess I'll read that. Like, I'm like, no, I really want to read these. So yeah, we'll see how we do in November, you guys. Let me know, what are you going to be reading in November? What is at the top of your TBR? Are you gonna be reading Brimstone? Are you gonna be reading Dawn of Chaos and Fury? Let me know what you're looking forward to reading in November. Or if you wanted to leave an emoji, go ahead and leave one of these star emojis for the Ascended. Please make sure that you're following me on all of my social media. My Instagram, my TikTok, and my Goodreads are all linked down below. I also have a Patreon. That is where I host my fantasy romance forest book club. We also do series read-alongs with live shows. I also post bonus videos there, and we do reading sprints as well. I really appreciate that you watched today's video. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I love you all so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.